I have a thought about employment in the United States and how to unloose the forces that we currently have sidelined because the political process has scared the bejesus out of everyone, and everyone is holding on to every dime that they have. Rightfully so. My suggestion is the following. And if you like this, when this is done, send this on to people that you know, so maybe it will filter its way to Congress, maybe it will filter its way to the President and other folks who make a decision for you and me in this country. Maybe it'll get there. All we can do is try, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do in this YouTube broadcast. I think that we should reenact the investment tax credits and reenact them in such a way that it affects you and me and our business. And in most every instance, we would grant a 50%, that's a big number, 50% investment tax credit to anyone who started new construction. Not pre-existing, but started new construction. 50% tax credit on everything that they spent. If they spent $1 million, they'd get $500,000 investment tax credit that they could keep and they could use in any way that they saw best for them in the future. A marvelous tax planning idea that would instantly start people putting their money in new construction. But by the same token, help the people who need renovation and expansion of their equipment. Give them likewise a 50% tax credit. And also, we would expand it to 125% tax credit for any private enterprise that went out and built the fading and falling apart infrastructure for our cities and municipalities. That would mean that a company that's sitting out a lot of money could go out and rebuild a new bridge, fix the bridge, and whatever it cost them to do, they would spend the money for it. And how they would get paid back is they would have 125% tax credit. Doesn't cost the government a dime to do any of this. Doesn't cost the municipalities a dime to do any of this. It's all future. And so this would unleash all the money that's being stored up in the private sector who are scared. And also, the big part is that we would give an 50% investment tax credit for every new job that's created and is maintained over 2 years. So that means that the employee cost is dramatically reduced. So the employee cost is reduced, not to the employee. They still get their full salary, but the investment tax credit reduces the cost to the employer, and therefore the cost to make that particular good or service is dramatically reduced, and therefore we are far more competitive on the world stage. If we do that immediately, and it is immediate, we do have the laws for investment tax credits, that could happen instantly, unlike the $420 billion proposal. It's going to take a long time, and it will all go to the big corporations who've made the problem in the first place. In this instance, with this investment tax credit, it can become available to you, me, and anybody else in the business, the entrepreneurial world. They can take their money that's parked on the sidelines, go out and make a profit immediately and capture a bunch of the investment tax credits for themselves in their portfolio. And we should make the investment tax credits, add 2 features to them. One, make them assignable so that the employer, if they wanted to, they could assign them to their employees. That means if I was an employee, I might get a $10,000 tax credit. that I could use on my taxes at any time, well, that would be instant cash in my pocket. None of this is a cost to the government. And you could make them so that the employer who got the tax credit could sell it. They could sell it in case they needed to raise some money for their business that they were working on, or for any other reason. It would be theirs to work with. I think this is a good idea. It can happen quickly, easily, effectively, and doesn't cost the government a dime. No spending increases. None whatsoever. Think about it. Think about it. I think you may find that you come to like this thought. If you do, please pass it on. Pass it on, and let's see if we can't get the government to be on our side instead of their side. Their side. I notice their suits are all neatly pressed every day, and their shirts are well tailored. And you and I, we're left. This will change all that, and it will do it in such a way it doesn't hurt the government, doesn't hurt us, doesn't hurt anybody. It just helps and gives everybody a stimulus immediately if we're willing to work for it. And I think you and I certainly are. Thank you very much.